Hi, I'm Dave Madland, Systems Engineer for Cisco Systems. So let's take a closer look at OTV and how it works. As a reminder, OTV is an NXOS feature recently introduced to the ASR 1000 series of routers that allows us to extend Ethernet LANs between data centers. One of the nice things about OTV is that it is transport agnostic. The connectivity between data centers can be L2, L3, IP switched, label switched, or pretty much anything that can transport IP. The real problem solved by OTV: extensions over any transport, failure boundary preservation, site independence isolation, optimal bandwidth utilization, resiliency, built-in loop prevention, multi-site connectivity, scalability, and simplicity. OTV works by creating an OTV control plane through authenticated links between the Nexus 7000 or ASR routers at each of your data centers, called edge nodes in OTV parlance. You can then route your LAN traffic by encapsulating it and routing it through this IP infrastructure. Routing of the traffic is determined by associating a MAC address with the next hop IP address. The process is fully dynamic, so there is no need to establish and manage tunnels and virtual wires. This approach certainly simplifies the management and administration over existing approaches, but it also allows you to take full advantage of your IP core, such as optimal routing and features such as load balancing, multicast traffic replication, and fast failover. The tables themselves are built transparently in the background. Once OTV is configured, by proactively advertising MAC reachability, if the IP core supports multicast, the edge device advertises the address along with some extended attributes in a single update that reaches all neighbors. The additional information, including VLAN ID, site ID, and associated IP addresses, make OTV a significantly smarter solution than other approaches, giving it the ability to support loop-free multi-homing, load balancing, first hop resiliency protocol, and ARP containment, without generating increased complexity, processing overhead, or the need for ancillary protocols. If the core does not support multicast, OTV can run in the adjacency server mode, where one of the edge nodes is responsible for collecting and disseminating reachability information via unicast traffic. In either case, OTV's approach is an improvement over other approaches that require explicit configurations of each connection or depend upon the flooding of information. OTV solves Layer 2 fault propagation. Spanning tree in OTV, site independence. OTV does not affect the spanning tree topology of the site, and in those terms, OTV is totally site transparent. Each site will maintain its own spanning tree domain, which is separate and independent from the other sites, even though all sites will be part of a common L2 domain. This functionality is built into OTV, and therefore no configuration is required for this to work. An edge device will send and receive VPDUs only on the OTV internal interface. Unknown unicasts and OTV. No longer flooding storms across the DCI. OTV does not leverage flooding to propagate the learning of MAC addresses across the overlay. No more requirements to forward unknown unicasts over the overlay, therefore its forwarding is suppressed. Any unknown unicasts that reach the OTV edge device will not be forwarded to the overlay. This is achieved without any additional configuration. An ARP cache is maintained by every OTV edge device and is populated by snooping ARP replies. Initial ARP requests are broadcast to all sites, but subsequent ARP requests are suppressed at the edge device and answered locally. OTV edge devices can thus reply to ARPs on behalf of remote devices. ARP traffic spanning multiple sites can thereby be significantly reduced. The configuration of OTV is quite simple, needing only 5 commands. The overlay interface, you have your join interface, the control group multicast address, a data group multicast address, the VLANs you wish to extend across the overlay, and a VLAN that's used to communicate between the edge devices. Well, I hope this brief tutorial helped you understand OTV, and thank you for taking your time to join me.